Hey, how you guys doing? Welcome back to another episode of Soulja Talk The Podcast. I'm your host, Sergeant McPherson, and on this show, we discuss military topics with current and prior service members. Today, I have Sergeant First Class Simms, which is a drill sergeant here at Fort Lee, Virginia. How you doing, Sergeant?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Okay, Sergeant, so kind of introduce yourself to the people, Sergeant.
All right, as he just stated, I'm Sergeant First Class Simms. I'm out of Sanford, Florida. I've been in the military for about 16 years now. My MOS is 92 Yankee, unit supply specialist.
So you say you're from Sanford, Florida, Sergeant.
Yes.
So how is it in Sanford, Florida, Sergeant? I've never been there.
I can only speak from experience back when I stayed there. It's a little different now. They've built it up a lot, but back then, just growing up in the environment I did, it was not everybody say you grew up in a bad neighborhood, and I don't want to kind of beat that up, but it wasn't the best neighborhoods to grow up in. So.
Okay, Sergeant, so before you joined the military, kind of explain some of the stuff, kind of explain the journey lead up to you joining the military, Sergeant.
Initially, I thought I was going to go off to college and run track and try to walk on for football, but I ain't do none of that. I just worked. I wanted money in my pocket, so I went from being a bagger to a butcher to construction, all within like a year and a half. And then, just one of those decisions I made after reading the magazine to join the military. Without doing any real research, I'm leaving them out. And I just wanted to be something productive instead of just leaving.
Okay, so was 92 Yankee your first choice, Sergeant?
Absolutely not. I didn't even know what a 92 Yankee was. I didn't even know what my old MOS was initially, when they told me 88 kilo, and it's like, what is that? But then they showed me a video, and the only thing that came to my mind was, they're not fighting a war on the water, so I'll take it. So the 88 kilo is a watercraft operator, and I did that for about 3 years before I reclassed to 92 Yankee.
Okay, so a watercraft operator, what exactly is that? Like, what did they do?
So the Army does have boats. I want to say they're getting ready to phase it out at some point. I'm not sure when, but it's been talked since I came in. It was phasing it out. But the particular unit I was in, it was the Causeway unit. They built like this big floating pier, bridge or whatnot to download the equipment from the bigger ships that can't get into the canal or to the ports or whatnot, and then they brought it to land for them.
Okay, so after you did that for a couple years, what made you transition over to 92 Yankee, Sergeant?
The thought process was, I wanted to do something. If I was going to spend 8 years in the military, I wanted to do something that I can transition into outside the military and enjoy it. And I didn't really enjoy that job because I was always dirty and exposed to the elements.
How long have you been a 92 Yankee, Sergeant?
It's 2021 now? About 14 years now.
Okay, so what position have you held as a 92 Yankee?
So I've only done supply sergeant, S4 instructor, and now drill sergeant.
Okay, so how long was you a 92 Yankee before you got selected to be a drill sergeant?
13 years.
Okay, so for some of the soldiers out there who might be considering becoming a drill sergeant, first, how long have you been a drill sergeant?
I just recently completed the course in July, so I'm still, getting the feel for things, how they're being ran here at Fort Lee.
Okay, kind of explain what's the course, what happens in the course, drill sergeant course?
So they broke it up to 3 phases. Phase 1 was online, virtual call in, and then you had this blackboard. You take a few tests and stuff, and then phase 2 and 3, you actually got to go to Fort Jackson. And then initially it's a lot of PRT, and then you go into the ACFT, and then you got to pitch these modules. You get 3, and they're going back to the 9 weeks. So my resident course is only 5 weeks. they're going back to the 9-week course where it's all done right there at Fort Jackson. So I kind of, you know, I was happy with the 5 weeks versus 9 because it's stressful. You have a hard time memorizing things, and as I get older, I do have a hard time memorizing paragraphs. So you have to regurgitate that without anything in front of you. So.
Okay, so now that you kind of explained the course, kind of explain to some of the soldiers out there who might want to become a drill sergeant, what's the process to become one, Sergeant?
So there's a few ways. Most people, because they can't get enough people to volunteer, that's one way. They're DA selected. And the way to volunteer, you go and you ask your Army, the assignment satisfaction key, that thing, and you update your stuff as drill sergeant preferred or drill sergeant volunteer, or you contact your branch manager or via email or phone call.
Okay, so with you being a drill sergeant, kind of explain the day-to-day task as a drill sergeant. What do you do, like day-to-day, Sergeant?
So day-to-day here, it's early morning, for PRT. So you go through PRT, and then right after PRT, they go straight to the DFAT. Don't even get a chance to wash their behinds, but that's just the timeline. And right after DFAT, they get the opportunity to go do hygiene, and after hygiene, they do total line. They get their rooms checked and inspected for any deficiencies. And not only their rooms, their person, make sure they got the right uniform, make sure they shave, make sure their hair is in accordance with 670-1. And then from there, they go get marched over to the schoolhouse until about 12:30. And then they get picked up, they go to chow, the DFAT, and drop back off until 16:30-ish. And then go do dinner chow. Then they have meal directly after that. Then they get personal time. It ranges from an hour and a half, 2 hours until it's lights out or bed check.
Okay, because me personally, Sergeant, I wanted to become a drill sergeant, but I feel like it takes a certain personality to be a drill sergeant. Like, I see different people go to the drill sergeant course and stuff like that, but I feel like you have to have a certain type of leadership skills to become a drill sergeant, because like I feel like you got to be able to yell at people. And me, like, I'm kind of soft-spoken. I don't really like to yell at people. So is that true? Do you have to have certain type of leadership qualities to be a drill sergeant?
I mean, I feel like you have to have somewhat of a dominant personality, but not a controlling personality. You don't have to yell. All that yelling and stuff, it looks good, it briefs well, but if you feel like you have to yell at people all the time to get them to do something, it's not, you got to use this hat, this badge to get the respect. Like, I feel like you're an ineffective individual.
Okay, Sarge. So in this part of the show, Sarge, I'm kind of give you two options, and then you're going to choose which one you prefer and why you prefer that option, Sarge. So ACFT or the APFT, Sarge?
If I had to select, I'll say the ACFT. It's a little bit more dynamic, and it forces individuals to focus more on their whole body concept as far as exercise, and get you to get up and go do something. You can't just be good at the deadlift if you don't do it. Like push-ups, if you don't do push-ups for a long time, like, you can still do enough to pass. But if you don't do deadlift, you don't have the proper form, technique, and stuff like that, you can hurt yourself. So I feel like the ACFT is a little bit more whole body concept focus, and it's more beneficial than the APFT.
Okay, so now I'm gonna go with officer or NCO, Sarge.
So for me, as you see, I'm NCO and I've stayed NCO. I've had plenty of opportunities to go warrant, and I just declined because I enjoy being on the ground next to my soldiers and stuff like that. I feel like we have more of an effective role as an NCO than that of officer or one officer.
Okay, Sergeant Simms, I would like to thank you for this interview, Sarge.
I appreciate it.
So is there any type of advice that you can leave some soldiers out there, Sarge?
I'll say, protect your peace and, take care of your mental well-being, because as soldiers, NCOs, as people, without that mental care for yourself, like, you're an ineffective person. You can't take care of anybody else or anything without being properly taking care of yourself.
Okay, with it being Suicide Prevention Month, Sard, is there anything you can leave a soldier out there who might be thinking about hurting himself or him or herself, Sard?
You know, I would say lean on your faith, establish, you know, positive friendships, and utilize the programs and personnel that are in those positions to help you. Utilize that to the fullest extent.
Okay, there you guys go. It's been another episode of Soulja Talk The Podcast. Please follow the Instagram at the bottom of the page, and I'll see you guys at formation.